Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see the digital signal and digital circuits. Okay. So in the last video we have seen the analog signal analog circuits, right? So let us see the representation of different signals. So analog signal we have seen already. So still we will revise some signals. So analog signals. So first analog signal is sine wave. Okay, you can draw sine wave like this. Okay, second analog signal is triangular wave. Okay, this is triangular wave. Triangular wave signal. Okay, the third signal that we have seen is discrete signal. Discrete signal. So discrete signal is what? It is samples taken after fixed interval of time, right? So we can take this kind of samples, okay, after fixed interval of time. So this will be our discrete signal. So here the time period between the two samples is fixed, right? So here but the amplitudes of each and every sample will be different. Okay, so the best example I would like to share with you is, suppose in your mobile phone or in your computer you want to save a song. Okay, then can you tell me whether that song is in analog form or digital form? It is in digital form because we cannot store any analog signal, and that's why what we do, we sample that particular amplitude after fixed interval of time. So consider that I want to store this sine wave into digital form. So what should I do? I should sample this, I should collect the samples of this sine wave, right? So whatever amplitudes are available during the sampling time, that particular amplitude will be converted into digital form and then we will store into the memory. So in the same way, whatever song is available in your mobile phones, those songs are stored into digital form. Okay, so these points are called the particular amplitudes of that song. Okay, so if you plot the graph of, or if you just join this, then you will get like this something. Okay, so these amplitudes are not regular, or it is not repetitive. So like in sine wave the amplitudes are repeating after particular interval of time, but in music file these particular amplitudes are not constant. Okay, so it may vary. Now the next point is digital form, digital signal. Digital signal. So this digital signal is having only two levels. Okay, and that's why this digital signal is also called on-off signal. On-off signal. Okay, so in electronic circuitry the digital signal is represented as logic 0 or logic 1. Okay, so logic 0 normally represents 0 volt and logic 1 represents different voltages as per the application requirement. So logic 1 starts from plus 3.3 volt, 5 volt, 6 volt, 9 volt, 12 volt, 24 volt. Okay, so these are some logic 1 voltage levels, okay, which is always used in your digital circuitry. Okay, now the different voltages are also used in the digital circuitry as per the application requirement, but I would like to share you with one voltage level that is, it is not written here. So if you look at the back side of the CPU of the computer, okay, then you will find the serial port, and the serial port is of DB9 connector. DB9 connector. So DB9 means what? The 9-pin connector you can see behind the CPU of the computer. So this DB9 connector works on the different voltages. So for logic 0, the DB9 connector or the serial port, which is RS232 protocol, RS232 is the IC inside that CPU or on the motherboard. Okay, so logic 0 for RS232, logic 0 means plus 3 volt to plus 12 volt, and for RS232 logic 1 means minus 3 volt to minus 12 volt. Okay, so for RS232 serial port only, these logic ranges are defined. Okay, so if you want to interface any your the 5 volt device to the RS232, then there should be a converter IC in between. Okay, otherwise you cannot. If you connect any 5 volt device to RS232, then your 5 volt devices may be damaged. Okay, because these voltages are somewhat higher. So these are some examples of digital signals. Now, how to represent the digital signal? So digital signal can be represented as a square wave. Okay, like this. So as we are talking about only zeros and ones. Okay, 0 and 1. That means this low level is considered as logic 0, and this high level is considered as logic 1. Okay, now this logic 1 can be any voltage in between this, plus 3.3 volt, 5 volt, 6 volt, 9 volt, 12 volt and 24 volt. Okay, but in case of RS232, these voltage levels can be plus 3 to plus 12 or minus 3 to minus 12. Okay, now let us see the digital circuits. Okay, so where the digital signals are used in that particular digital circuits. Okay, so in digital circuits, actually the digital circuits can be controlled by using only electronic switches or some physical switches. Okay, but as we have seen in analog circuits, actually we have seen in analog circuits, the transistor or BJT acts as an electronic switch. Okay, so we will compare that electronic switch with the physical switch that we always use, that we use in our homes. Okay, so consider that electronic switch or physical switch. Suppose this is the physical switch. Okay, and you want to control an LED, using this physical switch, on off switch. Okay, so there must be a resistor as a current limiting component. Okay, now consider this LED can be turned on at 1.8 volt. Okay, because this is actual voltage of LED at which the LED can be turned on. It starts to emit the light. Okay, so you can take here 5 volt supply as DC power supply, and if you want to turn on this LED, then what you have to do, you have to press this switch. Okay, if you press this switch, then it will be shorted this point A and point B. Okay, so once the point A and B will be shorted, the current will flow through this circuit. Okay, you can consider this 1k ohm resistor. Okay, so that only 5 milliampere current will be flow through this LED as per the Ohm's law. Okay, so once you press the switch, the current will start to flow through this resistor, switch and LED will be turned on. Now I will ask you one question. If I will press the switch only with very low pressure, okay, then what will happen? Whether the A and B will be shorted? No. So what you have to do? You have to apply the sufficient pressure so that the points A and B will be shorted, and then only the LED will be turned on. Okay, so in the same way, if you want to control this LED using electronic switch, that is BJT or any other transistor, then what you have to do? You have to provide sufficient voltage or sufficient current so that the particular device will be turned on. Okay, now I will just convert this picture as electronic circuitry. Okay, so here manually the pressure has to be applied, but in electronic circuitry, digital circuit, there will not be any switch for as a controlling element. So I will just convert this picture. Okay, so this is our circuit to control an LED. Okay, now here is also same thing. If you want to turn on this LED, then what is the condition to turn on this BJT? Because if you want to turn on an LED, then this higher potential to lower potential, the current should be flow. Okay, so to flow the current through an LED, through the transistor should be in, the transistor should be turned on, and it is only possible by sending 0.7 volt across this base emitter junction, right? Base emitter junction, and here is the collector point, right? So base is the controlling terminal of BJT, and the A and B points are shown here. So this A and B points will be converted into collector and emitter points. Okay, so here this shaft is an controlling element, but here in transistor base is the controlling element. So here the sufficient pressure has to be applied, then and then only the LED will be turned on, and in this side the sufficient voltage should be applied so that this transistor will be turned on. Okay, now what is the condition to turn on this transistor? Actually the minimum 0.7 volt has to be applied on the base with respect to emitter. Okay, then and then only this BJT will be turned on, otherwise it will remain in off state. Okay, so I should write here greater than or equal to 0.7 volt to turn on this BJT. Okay, as you apply 0.7 volt or more than 0.7 volt across base and emitter junction, then and then only this base emitter junction will be turned on, and hence the collector emitter points or terminals will act as a short circuit. So short circuit means what? The current will flow. Okay, so large amount of current will flow from this higher potential plus 5 volt to lower potential ground. Okay, so the same current will be flow through the LED. Okay, and hence the LED will be turned on. Okay, and if you want to turn off this LED, then what should be done? It's very simple. You have to remove this voltage. Okay, if you want to turn off this LED, then you have to release the switch. Okay, that means the pressure should be removed. So in the same way, the voltage should be removed. The voltage should be less than 0.7 volt. Okay, understood? Now you might have one question, that this is all about the LED. This LED is operating on plus 5 volt, that is simple. But what about if you want to control the tubes or bulbs or fan? So in that case you must use the other electronic switches. Okay, other electronic switches. So I will prefer to use electromechanical switch. Okay, because the why it is why I'm saying electromechanical, because you want to control 230 volt AC operated devices using 5 volt signal. So that means your uh, first part or half part of that electromechanical switch should be electronic, and the other half part should be physical mechanical switch, and that's why I said electromechanical switch, and a relay is the electromechanical switch. Okay, so let us see how to use electromechanical switch, that is a relay, to control the higher voltages devices. Okay, now consider, before seeing the circuit diagram, first let us see how the relay operates, how the relay works. Okay, so relay is having 5 points. So the first 2 points are the coil. Okay, coils, 2 terminals. The third, fourth and fifth points are the contacts. Okay, contacts. So here the contacts named as common point, NC point and NO point. Okay, so here if you purchase a relay from the electronic shop, then you may have this relay, okay, sugar cube relay, and if you check by multimeter, digital multimeter, okay, put the multimeter onto continuity, okay, so that you can check whether the path is path is there or not, okay, for the current flow. So consider that if you check the relay by using multimeter, and if you connect the multimeter probes across these 2 points, then you will find there is a continuity. The beep sound will be hearable. Okay, then if you connect 2 probes of multimeter across common and this point, then you will not hear any sound. Okay, so that means these 2 points are open, these are not shorted. Okay, so these 2 points are always connected, that's why the name is given here normally closed, and this point is not connected always, that's why the name is given normally open. Okay, now what is your application requirement? Whenever the signal will be given, that time only, if you want to turn on the bulb or fan or tube, in that case this coil should be energized, that means the current has to be flow through this coil, then and then only this wiper or this pointer will be attracted towards this coil. Okay, why it will be attracted? Because whenever the current flows through any conducting material, the electromagnetic field will be generated around that particular conductor. Okay, and that's why whenever the current will flow through this coil, the large amount of magnetic fluxes will be generated across this coil, and hence this iron type wiper will be attracted towards this coil, and hence the switching will happen, switching takes place. Okay, and here the load or the 230 volt operated devices should be connected across common and NO points. Okay, so here the circuit will be completed, and hence your bulb will be turned on, and this should be connected in series with the power supply. Okay, so this AC supply is what? 230 volt AC, 50 hertz. So this is the mains voltage and mains frequency. Now the question is how to make the current to flow through this coil. Okay, you can use a simple technique. Suppose this relay is having 5 volt DC rate. Okay, this relay works on 5 volt DC. Then the first terminal should be connected to plus 5 volt and the second point needs to be connected to ground, because the current flows from higher potential to lower potential, that is ground. Okay, so you can simply connect here a switch, okay. So you can physically press the switch so that the bulb will be turned on. If you release the switch, the bulb will be turned off. Now if you want to control the bulb using electronic switch, that is transistor, okay, then what kind of circuitry you should convert to? You should use here transistor as an electronic switch, okay. Okay, and here you should provide the supply voltage across the base emitter junction. So here if you apply here plus 5 volt, then the relay the transistor will be turned on, the current will start to flow through this collector to emitter point, and the same current will flow through this coil. As the current flows through the coil, the switching takes place. Once the switching takes place, the bulb will be turned on because the loop will be completed. Okay, current will flow through this loop, in this loop. Okay, so here is the thing, that how can you control any AC devices or DC devices as per the application requirement. Okay, so I hope you understood this digital signal representation, digital voltages, logic, what is mean by logic, what is mean by on-off control, and the digital circuits. Okay, so I hope you understood. If you have any query, any doubt related to digital circuit, digital signals, then you can write it in the comment box. And if you like this video, then click on like and share with your friends. Thank you.